It's an inalienable right, the rights of self-determination, to determine your own destiny. If you allow people to enjoy the right of self-determination, then they will collaborate. If you deny them, then you're asking them to rebel.
I know that every man, woman, and child of our new nation shares this moment of pride and happiness with one heart to join in celebrating our independence.
I was the de facto of the Constitutional Planning Committee that drafted PNG's constitution. But ironically, I was not here for September 16th. The Constituent Assembly deleted Chapter 10 from the Constitution, and Chapter 10 was on decentralization that would have adequately addressed the Bougainville problem. Bougainvilleans, they were talking about wanting to become independent. So people said, well, there's no hope for us. So the people called upon me and the member for Central Bougainville to resign and go home. So that's how I worked so hard for independence, I missed all the fun. This Constitutional Planning Committee comprised of members from both sides of Parliament, and that represented all the districts then. The provinces were known as districts. And they were visionaries, I must say. They were people who had a vision of the future. And we wanted to be independent, knowing full well that the Australians were better in management, administration, so on and so forth. But we said, if we don't become independent now, we will forever be dependent. Our aim was to liberate and empower Papua New Guineans. In other words, Papua New Guineans must take the reins to promote development as they wanted it. I was a new man. I was only 30 years old, just elected, knew nothing about politics, but I was well prepared, because when I was in Bougainville, the Bougainville Copper, CRA, was really exploiting the people, and the colonial government was collaborating with the company.
Twice the people of Rorovana village have tried to stop work by CRA. The last time, on August the 5th, police used tear gas and batons to disperse villagers trying to prevent bulldozers clearing the land.
There were a lot of institutions and leaders who were quietly standing by and not doing anything. So I took a plunge into human abyss. That's how I got elected. I was a priest then. And in those days, the Bishop of Bougainville said, you can't have a priest in politics. The people said, we want this man. I knew that we had to fight for our rights, and I also understood the importance of self-determination. It's an inalienable right, the rights of self-determination, to determine your own destiny. If you allow people to enjoy the right of self-determination, then they will collaborate. If you deny them, then you're asking them to rebel.
Have the people of Rorovana village decided definitely not to sell their land?
Yes, that's the people not decided to sell their land.
What did it mean to have a homegrown constitution?
Yeah, I'm glad you said homegrown, because we wanted to have a homegrown constitution. So we conducted probably the most comprehensive political engagement at that time with the people of Papua New Guinea. We went to every district, to every sub-district, and every patrol post. The most popular issue discussed then was decentralization. They wanted to have their own governments in the districts, and have the local governments to come under their district government, not come under the national government. So The CPC's recommendation on decentralization, I guess, was one of the most powerful and the most, what people wanted most. They wanted to be empowered. PNG was a highly diversified country, culturally, linguistically, over 800 actual languages. And unless you decentralize and give some measure of autonomy to the provinces, uniformity wouldn't work. You must allow the provinces to have the power to make decisions for the different provinces.
How do you think our cultural identity has evolved over the past 5 decades?
The people still have respect for the cultural diversity. The 5th goal of the Constitution is about Papua New Guinea ways. See, the 5 national goals and directive principles are quite unique. No other constitution in the world has the 5 national goals and directive principles. Number 1, first goal, integral human development, holistic development. Not just intellectual, not just economic, not just political or religious, spiritual or, cultural. So all these things put together. Number 2 goal, equality and participation. Equitable distribution of things, and participation. People must be enabled to participate in the process of government and in the process of development. Number 3 goal, national sovereignty and self-reliance. It's very, very important. The 4th goal, of course, is conservation and replenishment, natural resources and environment. Very, very important. Environment. We put in the Constitution before the Rio summit when the world talked about the need to preserve and protect, environment. We were way ahead of things.
What lesson from its journey would you highlight for building unity and understanding in the nation today?
Don't deprive the people of their right to determine their destiny. If you want to maintain peace, then you have to give and take.
And central government has got this problem of trying to find out what people of Bougainville want.
Bougainville came up with a very good solution. We said, give us some measure of autonomy and allow us to participate in making our own decisions. Kareng Somare and said, look, instead of sending the army, let's negotiate. Call a truce, let's negotiate. That's what we did. And we agreed on giving Bougainville the highest autonomy in 1976. And we said it will be given to other provinces as and when they were prepared. Because they knew some were not prepared. And if you just willy-nilly give it out, some will make a mess of it, and the national government used that as an excuse to take away power from the provinces. But one of my closest collaborator in the CPC was John Caputin. He also went to school in Australia. We were at neighboring schools, so he was he came from East New Britain, and he also demanded that the people of East New Britain must have some autonomy.
What is your hope for the country's growth?
Good leaders, they don't have to be saints, but they must have some sense of integrity. They must have integrity, and they must abide by certain moral values. A decentralized system of government, some must have some autonomy. Bougainville has the highest autonomy. The other thing is we must promote the development of people, not resources, not country. People make the country. People benefit from the resources. So people are number 1. Promote integral human development. Educate our people. Provide good health services. The other thing is economic empowerment. I think PNG has a great future. We have very strong cultures. In terms of natural resource, for a small place, it's quite rich, but we are making a mess of it now. I would say be proud of what you can do and learn the ways and means of enabling you to do these things and work for a united country.